There are some ingredients, or I should say combination of ingredients, that just feel romantic. Noodles, cream sauce.
Very romantic.
I am gonna actually take this to a new level. I'm gonna show you guys a pasta dish, but it's a porcini bucatini with a sun-dried tomato cream sauce. It's unbelievable, it's incredibly simple, and you definitely wanna serve this, maybe it's Valentine's Day. Serve it family style, or family style. Do people do Valentine's Day with their kids?
No, that's unromantic.
Let's call it pasta for two. Let me show you guys how to make it. I want to start with my sauce because it's going to take the longest bit of time. Now this is very, very simple. I'm going to start with some unsalted butter, very key, that is unsalted butter. Let's add just a bit of oil as well. This is going to increase the smoke point on our butter. Now I'm going to take some fresh oregano. You don't have to pull the leaves off. I just want the flavor to penetrate the butter and the oil. Now, probably the star of the sauce, I would say, or at least one of the stars. I'm gonna do some garlic. Now I'm just gonna smash this to open up the surface area to get more access to that gorgeous garlic flavor. Now keep this on low heat. We wanna let the garlic and the herbs start to simmer just a bit. We want them to slowly cook and bring out that sweetness to really permeate the butter. That's what we want. We want all the flavor in the butter. The second you do this, it really, all of the aromas start to light up. Ooh, the herbs are popping. Garlic is going to town. All right, let's let that cruise. No seasoning yet. We're just letting the raw ingredients do all of the magic. Now, I'm using chicken cutlets. They cook fast, and we're gonna chop this up later and add it back to our pasta. So I'm not too worried about doing like a chicken breast or a chicken thigh or anything. This is just some of our tutto, a little oil. I'll flip those over. Let's do both sides. We want a decent amount of seasoning. Now I've got my griddle top at about medium heat. Let's add a touch more oil there as well and start to cook our chicken cutlets. Again, you can use any chicken that you like. You can use any really protein that you like. I just think this is a nice delicate flavor, and the cutlet cooks really, really fast. You'll know it's time to move on with our sauce once that garlic starts to get just slightly toasted and golden. Again, the aroma, insane. It's absolutely wonderful. Now I've got some sun-dried tomatoes. We're gonna have to move a little quick at this point because sun-dried tomatoes have a decent amount of sugar, some sweetness in there that will burn. So if you want to, take your heat down to low. If you feel a little nervous about it, we're gonna have a decent amount of sun-dried tomatoes. Oh, there's the aroma.
See that oil?
Wow.
That tomatoes is gonna be awesome with it as well, right?
Yeah, there's a little bit of extra flavor if you wanna add some of that oil. Now I've got some capers. And
well,
who needs lids? Who needs lids? The capers have a wonderful bit of saltiness, brininess, if you will. And these are gonna pop and crisp in that garlicky, herby, now sun-dried tomato-y fat, which is good. Let's give that a stir, and like you'll notice, this is one of those moments. If it's for Valentine's Day, cook together. Like this part, it's when you become part of the action. Everything is really, really coming together. Now this is gonna go for 30 seconds. Like, stay with me. It's not gonna take long. You can see the garlic. Can you see that, CJ?
Oh yeah.
Garlic is starting to caramelize. Ooh, I'm starting to get that briny, wonderful aroma from the capers.
Dude, it smells amazing.
Right? So, so good. Now I'm gonna go in with some heavy cream. I'm gonna actually cut my heat off. I'll tell you why in just a second. Now we have a ton of heat in our pan here. I'm gonna add my cream, and we're gonna stir this in. Now we wanna bring the heat down. Like, now is where we wanna chill. We wanna take our time. We're not rushing right now. So I'm starting to get that boil. I don't want the boil, so make sure we stir it in. Now we're gonna talk about porcinis. Now I know, CJ, I know you don't like mushrooms. However,
nope.
Porcinis are some kind of special magic.
Are they though?
Oh, well actually any dried, I'm gonna add a little bit more cream. I want this to be a little thicker, or a little thinner I should say. Let's go with a little bit more of that cream. Beauty. So dried mushrooms, what happens is as they're dehydrated, they intensify in flavor. So when we rehydrate them, what we're doing is we're capturing all of that intensity for Valentine's Day, all that passion, the passion of the mushroom, back into what we're cooking. Now, typically you would rehydrate mushrooms in a liquid, like a water or something, to bring them back to the place where you want to cook them, but I'm gonna rehydrate them in the cream. That's why we cut the heat. So check these out, Ethan. I'm gonna get really close here, buddy. Before we go too far, look at these babies. Wow, wow, look at these, gorgeous. If you can find them, don't be afraid. Dehydrated mushrooms are straight magic. So now, like I said, we're gonna rehydrate in this hot cream. So let's add, does that look like enough? Let's go with more, I have 2 bags.
Let's
go ahead and go. Big baby doesn't like mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, skip this part, but I wouldn't, because they're amazing. Now, what happens is dehydrated mushrooms will rehydrate, and it creates something called a liqueur. It's the mushroom flavor coming out in the liquid. So if you did do it in water, save the liquid for another application. But here we're compounding the flavor of our cream with the dehydrated mushrooms. It's magic's happening right now. While those mushrooms are rehydrating and our chicken is cooking, let's get to our garnishes for later. I've got some Italian flat leaf parsley. Don't use the curly stuff. It's not as attractive. Use that beautiful flat leaf, and it has more flavor, chopped up nice and small. I've also got a fun little trick I like to do with Parmesan. Take a peeler, a vegetable peeler, and do some peeled ribbons. These little gorgeous, like salty ribbons of cheese. They're not just pretty, they add a bigger bite of salt, you know what I'm saying, a bigger punch of salt when you garnish. The chicken is looking fantastic. I love a little bit of caramelization on the outside just for appearance and a little bit of texture. Let's go ahead and pull those off and we'll chop them up. They don't have to be bite-sized, but you know, small enough that you can get to it with a fork. Check out this sauce. This sauce has gotten so creamy. Keeping it on low heat while the mushrooms rehydrate is kind of money. Now you notice we didn't add any salt yet. Now's where I want to go with my salt. We're going to be pretty generous. Something else I think about this whenever I'm tossing pasta in a sauce. You want the sauce to be slightly saltier than you would think, right? Because we are going to put the noodles, and I cooked these noodles in some salted water. I'm adding a little bit of pepper as well. I cooked these noodles in salted water, but they don't retain a ton of saltiness, so we don't want it to be bland. So what I like to do is I start with my first run of salt. Don't go too hard, don't go too heavy. Oh, CJ, actually, can you look in here? I don't know if you can see it. Right over here on the side where I'm pointing right here, this is some of that liqueur from the mushrooms. Like, it's separated out. That right there, when we mix it in, oh, that's the flavor. That's the umami flavor. The mushrooms have gotten nice and soft. The aromas, fantastic. Now I mentioned the pasta, but we didn't really talk about it too much. Today I'm using bucatini. Bucatini is really fun. It's like a fat spaghetti, but it's hollow in the center, and it's got an amazing texture to it. Now is where we're gonna start like the building process, essentially. Now I've got some, again, I said these were cooked in salted water. I'm gonna add this right to my sauce. I really like the idea of like a tossed pasta. I feel like everything gets coated nice and evenly. I'm gonna use my tongs for this. We can get rid of that little guy. And we'll taste for seasoning once the noodles are already in. That way we can adjust for how much salt, if we wanna add a little bit more, or if we're right on money. I think we're on the money right now. Now, my favorite part, my absolute favorite part, plating. Now I'm gonna take, we're like serving for 2, right? Valentine's Day or date night.
Style, though.
Certainly not family style. Thank you for keeping me on track, CJ.
You betcha.
Oh, wow.
Come on,
Look,
come
that
on.
tossed style, we get everything coated in that beautiful sauce. Now that was very simple. There were not very many ingredients at all, but letting it go kind of slowly like that gives the cream a chance to thicken up on its own. We didn't have to add flour. We're not making a gravy here. Although Betty would correct me, in Italian, they call gravy something else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, tomato sauce is gravy. Oh, let's go on with some of those extra mushrooms. And if you're
even less ingredients if you left out the mushrooms.
if you're a mushroom lover like I am, you're gonna love this one. The mushrooms, for me, really make it. A little bit of capers, the sun-dried tomatoes. Oh, I made a mess. I'm gonna have to clean that up. Now, you know, I can't. Chef brain. I can't keep going. I've gotta. We took all this time to be gentle with our food. How's that? Make it
much better.
You were gonna save me, CJ.
I
This
was
one over here.
starting to twitch out.
There we go. Feeling better about that. Let's go on with some of our chicken. We'll go right over the top. Oh, beauty. Beautiful. So much fun. Kind of keep it together. That looks good. Now we're gonna go with some of that gorgeous pop of color with our parsley. Stunner. And then some of these beautiful little ribbons. Now, this is one of those things, like, we didn't do anything difficult, right? You guys were following along the whole time. Nothing about this is hard, but it is elegant. It's sexy. It's downright sexy. There's no way you need to be saving this for Valentine's Day. Maybe even not a special occasion. This is Wednesday. Honestly, this might be how you stay in love.
You know, it's almost as if you're romancing the stone.
Is that what you've been hanging on to? You've been hanging on to that one for a while?
In the pocket for a second.
Oh, can we just to the yes. All right, this is probably not beard friendly, but I don't even care. I might go full Lady and the Tramp on this. You started?
I don't know what you're referring
I'm
to.
going. Here we go.
Bypassing the chicken, huh? Did go Lady in the Tramp. You did.
I'm in love.
Love is in the air.
My wife is gonna love this. She loves this one. So good. The chicken too. You can cut this up smaller if you want. I think it's a bit more elegant. And it's so good. A bit more elegant when you go this way. If one were so inclined to honor his best friend, you could go 1-2 like this.
Do I sense a post dust?
I'm just trying to be a team player here.
Ah, I see.
There you go. I mean, don't be intimidated by date night, by Valentine's Day. You can make something absolutely amazing, stunning, and simple. That was not hard. Go back and watch it if you need to. Check out blackstoneproducts.com for more recipes like this one, but the umami, porcini. It's all happening. Love is in the air. I'm verklempt. I'll see you guys in the next video. I guess maybe that's all I gotta say.